7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes all out. Great step. And then he hammers it home. Broke his ankles.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into Clutch B-Ball TV. I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night as the New York Knicks come out victorious up against the Atlanta Hawks. Talk about a big-time win. Helps us in the win category or the standings. Just like for people around the league, like, are the Knicks still a joke? Can they win these winnable types of games? Even though I think the Hawks have more talent than the Knicks, I just think the Knicks are better coached by a guy of Tom Thibodeau. I'm not the biggest fan of Lloyd Pierce, of course, came from the 76ers as an assistant. Not a big fan of his rotations. I'm not a big fan of how he uses players. In my opinion, it's about time he used Capella down the stretch in this basketball game. But talk about a big-time win for the New York Knicks. I thought everyone played very solid in this game. I thought people played fantastic. When I mean fantastic, I mean Julius Randle. I thought RJ Barrett played good as well in this basketball game. But I was very happy. I was very happy with this win. Yes, we could have put this game away, but it's the Knicks. It's not going to be an easy win, like every single time, you know? But starting off in the first quarter, Julius Randle, talk about, he was like perfect. This dude was hitting fadeaway jumpers, hitting crazy threes from beyond the arc. I believe he had a career night from downtown. He was muscling people down low, but he wasn't a ball hog. He finished with like 5 assists in this basketball game, hit some big shots down the stretch. He played a good 48 minutes of basketball, in my opinion. And like I mentioned in like other post-game videos, when RJ Barrett lets the game come to him, he's a good basketball player. He didn't force drives. He was decisive. His teammates did a good job finding him. He trusted his teammates, which you love to see from RJ Barrett. He had some very strong takes to the basket when he had to take them. Like, he had good decisions with the basketball, I thought RJ Barrett did in this game. He played extremely hard. You could say it's the Hawks because they're not the greatest defensively, so it's kind of easy to get to the rack and kill them outside on the perimeter because they're not good like in the paint or outside the perimeter, even though actually Capella helps them out when it comes to the paint for sure. But yeah, I thought we played amazing in the first quarter. Like, we played lights out, and Nerlens Noel did not play good offensively. Like, Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel aren't going to provide you offense. Like, Mitchell Robinson's more of this rim-running guy. He's better at coming off of screens. He's faster, better athlete than Nerlens Noel, even though I think Nerlens Noel is still a lob threat. I think Mitchell Robinson has a higher catch radius, and I think his vertical is higher. But yeah, at one point, the centers had no points in this basketball game, like none whatsoever. I was like really shocked when Nerlens Noel knocked down that. Was it a mid-range shot? It was kind of close to the basket. Nice little jumper by Nerlens Noel in this game. I thought they were both providing some very nice defense. Eventually, both of them got into foul trouble. Taj Gibson, 3 fouls. Nerlens Noel, 3 fouls. So we had no choice to put Obi Toppin in the game. But anyway, when we had Rose and Quickly come into the game, this game was just, it freaking blew up. We were up like 14 points. It was unbelievable. Quickly hitting deep threes from beyond the arc. It's weird seeing him like miss floaters because we're so used to them going in. He does have to make better decisions when to go under and over screens. Like, I was really scared when he was guarding Trae Young because he's a solid defender. He's a good on-ball defender. But when screens come, it really scares me with Emmanuel Quickly, in my opinion. And Derrick Rose, we know his ability to penetrate, so that takes pressure off of Quickly in that type of category. Quickly needs to get better going like straight to the basket, not using that floater all the time, even though when you're a point guard or a guard, a floater helps out a lot, especially if you're not physically gifted like a Ben Simmons or Giannis. I'm not saying Giannis is a point guard, but he has the ball in his hands a lot. Or even a guy like a Luka Doncic, if you know what I'm saying. But I thought the second unit was absolutely unbelievable. Alec Burks, he's been really struggling with his shot even more ever since he came back from that injury. Even though he's been playing very hard on the floor, which I respect, he's playing solid defense. It's not great or good defense, but he's playing very solid defense, in my opinion. Taj Gibson, I thought, brought a very good veteran presence. I love how Derrick Rose communicates with Obi Toppin out there on the floor. I wouldn't say Obi Toppin was great this game. He wasn't really necessarily great or good on any side of the ball of offense or defense, even though when the Hawks eventually cut it to like a 1-point game after up 14 at one point, he did have a big-time 3 to like jump it back up to a 4-point lead there. So that was good from Obi Toppin, and good to see that 3-pointer go in. It was an open shot, and it looked smooth, which you love to see from Obi Toppin. Even though I wish he kind of had a wider base, I think he is capable of making those types of shots. He just shouldn't shoot them all the time. He should shoot them like occasionally, maybe like 1 or 2 a game. I'd like to see him in the post more, cutting to the basket. Cutting to the basket is more of his forte, even though I think defenses will recognize that is his strong suit ever since Dayton and all that. But I thought Obi Toppin actually held his own pretty solid, like on the defense side of the basketball. He's gotten better boxing out. He's not really relying on his athleticism, which I like with Obi Toppin. It's the little things, adjusting to the NBA game, seeing him be comfortable, because we see how great Julius Randle's been. Like, Obi Toppin might just be this very solid bench piece in the NBA, and that's okay. There's some very solid bench pieces in the NBA, like a Montrezl Harrell, like a Lou Williams, like those types of guys. Jamal Crawford made his career off of that as well. Some people think of bench and they think trash. But yeah, Julius Randle, freaking amazing. 44 points. I believe that tied his career high he had with the Pelicans. I believe the most points he had in the Knicks uniform was like 35 or 36, but Randle was amazing. Just, I can't get over how good he played. But the Hawks had a guy, Skylar Mays, come in, who I was actually high on from LSU. Very confident scorer. I believe he played 3 or 4 years from, LSU. He came in. He didn't look scared whatsoever. He didn't look like a rookie. He was hitting some big-time shots. I'm like, why do we always have these young guys or like no-names kill us, or at least they used to, in the Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale, Derek Fisher types of days? He was taking it to the cup. He was hitting mid-range shots. He was hitting threes from downtown. Like, he was playing very fundamental, smart basketball out there. I really like the way Skylar Mays played in this game. But yeah, after being up 14 points, and like, of course, I got to the whole point of Obi Toppin hitting that big three, you guys are probably wondering, like, how did they make this game so close? Well, they were actually very smart, in my opinion, when it came to like us being up by a lot. What you should do when you're like the opposing team's up so much in basketball, gotta stop the clock. How do you stop the clock? You initiate contact, you get to the free throw line, and you play very fundamentally sound defense. And that's what the Atlanta Hawks did. Trae Young did a very good job initiating contact. Do I agree with all the calls Trae Young gets? No, I do not whatsoever, but he did a good job. Like, the refs, whatever they see out there, he got to the charity stripe. And eventually the Knicks started to miss shots. They really did start to miss shots. He did a good job finding Kevin Huerter, Trae Young, Clint Capella was starting to kill us down low. Cam Reddish started to get some things going, and usually Cam Reddish sucks against the Knicks. Of course, rivalry between Duke teammates of R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish are former Duke teammates. But yeah, he was starting to really get people involved, Trae Young, and I got to give credit to him there. John Collins even started to kill us down low in the paint. So I was like, oh my gosh, this game freaking scares me. But luckily, the Hawks are not a great defensive team. They're just not. So eventually, in the third quarter, the Hawks, they were up 7 at one point in this game. They were firing on all cylinders. They looked like they couldn't miss. When we would score, they would answer back right away. But I believe when there was 3 minutes left, or towards the end of the third quarter, we finished on a 14-2 run. It was something like that. It was absolutely unbelievable. We were hitting tough shots. We were getting to the rack. We started to initiate contact again. Randle started to get back to his flow. And eventually, it was too much for the Atlanta Hawks. And it was crazy because, we were up 14. We blew it. Then they took a 7-point lead. And then before you knew it, we were up 6. It was, such a crazy game. But I know I really hate on Elfrid Payton. I'm just I make these funny jokes with Elfrid Payton. Perfect day. Quickly goes off. Elfrid Payton's trash. Knicks win. But at the end of the day, I'm a Knicks fan. I root for the team to be successful. Elfrid Payton's a part of the team. He played very well. Yes, he can't shoot the ball very well, but he made some very solid plays. He played so hard. He got to the rack. Trae Young, I believe he was picked up full court by Trae Young. Or I believe Elfrid Payton dribbled it up. Trae Young stole it, and then Payton got it back. I forgot the way it went. Just so much went on in this game. But Elfrid Payton played so strong, and I got to give credit to Elfrid Payton where credit is due. The way this team came together, Derrick Rose's leadership, being vocal with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin came out and said in an interview that Derrick Rose is constantly communicating with them. And when we got Derrick Rose, I didn't know how much of a leader he was. He's really changed since his first stint with the New York Knicks, which you love to see. But this team really came together. They played very freaking hard. They played very hard in this game. But I just don't get how Randle makes these crazy fadeaway rainbow shots. Just the way quickly hit some tough shots in this game. This team just got after it, and I was just so proud of this team. They ended up keeping Trae Young in check towards the end. But yes, if you guys are wondering how of course we were up 14 and then they took the lead. They were up 7 and then we were up 6. The big reason we ended up being up by 6 is because Nerlens Noel, the Hawks round transition, Noel had 3 fast break blocks in a row, which gained so much momentum for us and our ability to score in transition in this basketball game. But eventually when we got to the fourth quarter, because I've been rambling on about third quarter a lot in this game, this team just stepped up clutch. If it was Randle, if it was quickly, this game was close. I love having quickly close games because he brings that extra threat of the pick and roll. Like, is he going to drive for that floater, or is he going to step back behind like the screen and shoot the three? And just like the big steal in transition, I believe they were like diving after a loose ball. Burks picked it up, or Burks was diving on the floor, tapped it quickly, transition three, freaking cushed it. Easy money shot. Quickly, just absolutely unbelievable the confidence he played with. At one point, I believe we're up like 1 or 2 points, or 4 points with like 3 minutes left, and RJ Barrett, clutch three, left wing. He had a couple clutch shots in this game. This team just played all 48 minutes of basketball very hard. They didn't play perfect, but they played hard, and I'm so proud of this basketball team. Proud to be a Knicks fan. I'm proud to say the Knicks are playing solid basketball. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.